Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Variable Madness podcast. What did you just do, Zach?
Zach, what the fuck was that?
I didn't realize we were starting.
I said it. Once you guys shut the fuck up, we can start. Nobody wants to listen.
It's a little Smirnoff bottle that I shot out of my mouth.
Nobody ever listens to me, bro.
Kind of hot, not gonna lie. 10 out of 10.
Hey,
This is why you two aren't affiliates.
Sex.
Oh, you're so lucky that didn't work. I must have misclicked. Oh, here, let me blur this in now, actually. Oh, that's not working. God damn it. It might have just kicked you from the group, Dice. I don't think it kicks you from the call, though. I hit remove from group.
Oh, here. I think this remove friend does it.
Oh, no.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
I think
Boys
report.
split up.
Report.
Report for child pornography. Alright, let's get into it. Pinky
Dude,
is not here
checked
today
recording?
because her son is sick.
cancer.
She will be away. So she's away for a little bit, but she'll probably be back next week. So let's start with Dice. How are you doing this week?
I'm doing pretty good. I just put in the down payment or security deposit for my apartment.
You mean you
and
found a
I
new
should
place
be
to squat?
moving. Huh? Yeah.
You found a new place
I got
to
all my-
squat at?
Got all my
Because
boxes.
we know you don't pay taxes.
I got all my boxes packed over there. My TV, I still gotta take it off the wall. There's a plate of food.
What do you have, like, a weed killer?
Where's that at?
Huh?
Oh, up there?
Yeah.
It's just a
That
spray
is,
bottle. It's probably
that
like
is-
anti-insect stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's actually
it
where I keep all
kills-
my weed.
It kills and prevents fleas, ticks, ants, bed bugs, all this different shit. I just
You could
sprayed
just
it
say
all
it's-
over.
Yeah, it's perimeter spray.
Yeah, I sprayed it all over my
It
boxes
could also
before
be
I put all my
coyote
shit in
piss,
it.
too, to keep
and I'm gonna
the
spray
people
it
from eating
all
your
over my
hostage.
apartment.
To encourage coyotes to show up.
I actually,
Zach, how
that
are you
actually
doing?
happened in my old house. Oh.
I'm
Yeah, your
fine.
time's up. All right,
Been
cool.
drinking a
Kaiju,
lot.
how are you doing?
I've had one of the worst weeks ever in existence, and I'm just glad to be here. That's all.
Jesus, fuck, it's Tuesday.
We're glad you're here.
It's the second day of the week.
I know, man. I
His
know.
weeks start and end with the podcast.
Jesus Christ.
They really do, man.
Did you get kidnapped by terrorists or something? What happened?
What's going on over in
No,
Cali?
I lost a lot of people at my job, and I was so stressed out about classes that I just dropped like 2 of them. So
Shit.
That's
Yeah.
not
I'm
bad.
like a
going
I
mass
mean,
shooting or something?
what?
no.
Are you talking about
No.
the school shooting that happened on Saturday or Sunday or Friday? I mean,
Has there been a school shooting? Where?
Yeah.
Who and
We
where?
live in
There's
America,
this-
so probably.
there was a school shooting reported on Friday. I didn't actually read about it because I didn't care.
Yeah,
You,
not my
you'd think
school.
in the COVID apocalypse there'd be less of those
Why?
because there's
Less
less
people
people
in school.
going to school.
It's so much
Yeah,
easier.
just hack-
It's so much easier.
don't
Yeah,
know.
now they just put a PNG of an AK on their fucking desktop and then just like drag it around the classroom.
No, they have to do it unfriended style, where they become a computer
Oh my
witch. And then...
They have to kill themselves first before
Yeah.
they go and kill everybody.
God, that
else.
movie was so stupid.
Did you see the second one?
Yeah,
what about
the
the
second one was
sequel?
about the dark web, dude. Like
Dark
that was
web.
just
The
like,
second one
oh
was-
my
like
god.
at least the dark web one was like kind of interesting.
The dark web one
Yeah,
made
but
sense. It doesn't mean it was good.
What was his girlfriend? Blind,
Yes,
deaf, and disabled? Like
No,
she
she
couldn't use
was,
her
uh,
legs, or is she just
mute.
deaf?
Mute.
Deaf.
She's
She
just
was
deaf?
deaf.
Okay, I knew she used sign language, but I also thought she was in a wheelchair for some reason.
Yeah. Also, there
And I'm
was a
like,
whole
well, if she's
plot
in a
point-
wheelchair, she might as well be blind too.
There was a whole plot point of that movie where the main character, was making like an app for him to communicate with his deaf girlfriend through like sending like hand signs through a video call. I'm like, dude, fucking text her.
She can read.
Only there was a type section.
She
Yeah,
can
if only
read.
there was a way
Also,
to
in a
fucking
video
type.
call, you can
And there's
literally
Yeah.
fucking hands.
Yeah, you can literally like
You can talk to deaf people. It's pretty
you
easy.
can literally be like you can
Fucking
literally be
rat,
like,
man.
mm,
Or rat.
like, you know?
I don't know.
That movie, those
Took-
movies.
I took 2 semesters.
I
of
remember the
sign
first
language,
time I
don't
heard
remember
it.
any.
The first time I heard about the movie, I was like, "Oh, that sounds like a really cool premise." And then seeing it in action, you're just like, "Oh, this was made by special needs directors."
It's not
They're
great.
just boomers, man. They don't know what a dark web is.
Technology
You-
bad. Well, the first one wasn't about the dark web. The first one was the
The first
worst.
web.
First web.
I want that movie too. I want to see
first
like
one was so
the Thing
bad.
movie, but done in like 1990s with dial-up modems and see how that goes.
The Thing
The
movie.
Ring.
The Ring?
Oh, you know what?
Wait a second. This movie's literally just The Ring with computers.
Yes.
When you post the
Instead
Ring
of
video
TVs,
on
You might have
YouTube.
just set the whole podcast. All right. So
All right, so
Let's
now
talk
that we're
about
done with podcasts, because we're not going to get any better than that.
no, you want to know the only thing that's worse than Unfriended is the movie
A
Friend
child.
Request.
I've never heard of that. No.
Dude,
I've heard
the
of
movie
Friend Request.
Is so
I've heard of Friend
fucking
Request.
Stupid.
I didn't even bother
It's
looking
like
into the
if,
premise
it's
of
like
that.
if Unfriended had a child with 13 Reasons Why.
No.
Oh,
So
you
it
know
makes
what?
me want to commit suicide.
If you
because
think
I
about
watched
it, if you think about it, what was the? I've already forgotten the name of the terrible movie because my brain forcibly
Unfriended is just
deleted
the
it.
ring meets
Unfriended.
13 Reasons Why.
If you think about it, Unfriended is just the supernatural version of 13 Reasons Why.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay,
Technically,
I can get
yeah,
behind
like,
that.
made
yeah.
myself feel bad for me.
Yeah. They stopped it after a movie. and got
Significantly
new
less
characters 'cause
football
they killed
players
them
in
all.
hot tubs. I will say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should have actually killed everybody in 13 Reasons Why as well.
Also,
didn't
the
do
whole
enough
the whole
killing.
premise
Why
the
it's
whole
not a
premise of
great
the movie
series
is
to begin
shit
with.
because this spirit is angry and like killing people, right? Only one of them posted the video. They didn't all post the same video. One of them
Yeah, but
posted
they were
the video.
complacent in it as well.
Yeah, but also she killed herself.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. She killed herself
publicly
because
killed
she
herself
killed
too, in,
herself
like, a basketball court.
Yeah,
She
how
killed-
did she come back as a vengeful spirit?
because she
If-
was driven to suicide by the online embarrassment and harassment.
That's stupid.
Yes.
Has she ever just decided to turn the computer off?
Because literally, it's like a horror movie trope that a vengeful spirit is somebody who was killed in an extremely violent way.
She comes back to life to kill herself.
Yeah, like, and
But here's the thing though too. At the same time, like the spirit knows who posted the video. The spirit knows the whole context of the video. And so the spirit decides, I'm going to kill everyone that didn't post the video, and then the last person left, I'm going to then let them see that I'm a vengeful spirit, and I'm going to kill them too. Like, the rest of your friend group did nothing but went to the same party. It's not their fault that this bitch recorded you drunk with your pussy out.
Yep.
no, she shit herself.
Did she?
Yeah.
I actually don't remember any of the
Yeah.
stuff that happened at the party.
I
Yeah, she
believe
shit her
Why she killed
pants.
herself.
I think
Oh.
it was
Well,
more
she-
than just she shit
no.
herself. I think,
Oh,
She
like,
got really
no.
drunk, passed out, and shit herself, and then Laura Burns or whatever the fuck her name was
it was a Burns.
recorded her, and then
They're like,
the
"Haha,
only
she
part
shit
I was like,
herself."
bro, why'd they have to kill the fat dude though? That guy did nothing wrong.
Honestly, though, she did shit herself when she was drunk. Like, there's an extent
Like-
of like how drunk you are.
also that's a strong reason to kill yourself.
I mean, out of all the things that have happened to me when I'm drunk, I've never shit myself.
Yeah, but you wouldn't immediately go from, oh, I shit myself, better commit suicide. Hello? Alright, well that just happened. Great. How you guys doing? Ari here, bringing you another solo podcast. So what I'd like to talk to you guys about I just restarted I restarted my Discord.
It's over. We're changing subject.
Guys, that was really weird. Wait, I hear a no. Oh,
Hey, where'd he get a blender from?
I'm gonna stick my hand in this blender. So I'm gonna stick this bottle way down my throat.
Is no one worried about Kaiju's actually not rejoining the call?
No, Kaiju's in the call, dude.
No, he's not.
You don't see him there? You don't
Zach,
see Kaiju?
Zach, stop gaslighting me, goddammit.
No, okay, he's literally right
Dude,
there.
Kaiju's literally right there. I'm seriously.
I will take a screenshot and send you. Kaiju, please respond.
I cannot believe what just
Cap.
happened. Okay, so the call dropped for everybody.
It
Yeah.
did.
So
That's
what
so
happened
fucking
was
weird.
I went to the group chat and it was like you removed Dice from the group. So I was like, okay, and I added Dice back to the group and then just everything crashed. So for some reason, me adding Dice back to the group DM just like destroyed the video call. Oh my god. You're capping that's right now.
No, that is literally
That is
right
right
now.
now.
I still have the snipping tool up.
Where's the newspaper that has today's date on it?
Here, let me hold this bottle and take another one.
You've been holding that bottle all podcast.
Let me do it. Let me do
Go
it with my
back 40
tongue.
minutes of the podcast. He's still holding the bottle.
Yeah, he's not there for me. Let me grab my snipping tool and show you
dude,
guys what I'm
it's like
seeing.
Unfriended, dude. Remember how Laura was like, she was just the default profile picture? That's Kaiju.
No, Kaiju, no.
This is what
He's
I'm.
gonna start
This is
typing
what
in
I
chat,
see.
like-
Oh, dude. No, Kaiju's
He's gonna
dead.
start typing in the chat and be like, I've been dead for 20 years. Time to pay, bitches.
Pay for what? We've been nothing but nice to him. Well, I've been nothing but nice to him. You guys are dicks.
What? I'm so nice.
I'm worried that Kaiju's dead now.
Tell Kaiju to leave the call and rejoin, or restart his Discord. That's what I did. I restarted my Discord, and that's why I was able to call again. I don't know, dude. Apparently, we're bad people.
Just try to bring Kaiju back to life. So,
Okay.
Somebody call 911.
Here's something. While we wait for Kaiju, here's actually something interesting that I did. When I went on my way to pick up Pinky because I didn't know all the news yet. I just, you know, there was no new podcast or anything that I usually listen to. So I started looking up comedic theories and like just comedic training and stuff like that, and that's just kind of interesting.
Yeah?
Well, yeah, because you know you get to the interviews of famous comedians and everything talking about it. And I was listening, I think it was Keegan Michael Peel. Wait, what's his name?
Keegan Michael Key.
Is it Key or P? Yeah, I forget. I always forget which
And
name.
Jordan Peele?
Jordan Peele and Keegan Mike and Key.
Yeah.
So it was actually him talking about improv comedy. And he's like, everyone's always thinking like, you have to think fast, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do this. There's Kaiju's back now, but he's muted. But in all reality, he's like, see, here's the thing. What you do is you want to set parameters within the shot before you start. And then basically you want to world build by just like taking a step back. And he's like using the set he's on talking about it. He's like, okay, so right now all I see is you.
We hear you.
All I see is you. And like, that's my scene right now. But if I take a step back, now there's a light dangling from the ceiling and coming down. Oh, wait, I'm on a set. I'm on a set with you. So clearly you must do that. I take another step back. Oh, now I can see the second chair. I'm on an interview set where you're the host. He's like, from that you can build your improv scene. And instead of like world building the scene, as you go along, you take a step back to visualize the comedy and build upon it. For like skit and
That sounds
improv
fucking
comedy.
stupid. No, I'm kidding. I understand.
like,
Or you could just be funny.
World building is a lot of my comedy style, I think. Like the whole like political Drake and Josh bit.
Oh, Drake.
What part of that is world building?
Because
that's just impersonation.
No, it started off as me just doing an impersonation of Drake and Josh, and then it slowly became Drake and Josh guarding Jeffrey Epstein. And they're worried about Obama finding out because they left Meg to watch Jeffrey and then he hung himself. But Drake. I love political Drake and Josh so much.
Political Drake and
I love
Josh.
political Drake and Josh.
But no, I
Or
just
like
thought it
when
was
I
really
like,
interesting.
when I was doing
Out
the
of
Michael
prison.
Jackson impression, and then it slowly became like Michael Jackson being interviewed by what was it, Mike
fucking-
Tyson?
The
Yeah, but
fucking,
why? Yeah, are you gonna take
Michael
credit for all this, or are you gonna admit that we're all
Satisfactory
there?
one.
Jackson.
The
Huh?
Satisfactory.
We
streams
all
are
build this
fucked.
shit. It's not just you.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. World building is a
Oh,
lot of our comedy
no, you
stuff.
said your comedy. You didn't include me and Zach.
Well,
you
that's
said
why our
that's
comedy
my
styles
comedy.
clash
I
so
do all
much.
these jokes because I'm funny, and these two aren't. Is specifically what
That
you
is
said.
True.
That is kind of what
It's
I
true.
was saying.
Dice is actually the only funny one out of the.
That is
Out of the-
cap.
That is
three of us?
cat.
If he's so
Yeah.
funny, where's his affiliate stuff?
Dice reminds me of a lot of old school slapstick comedians.
I was gonna
'cause
say,
when-
I'm like.
That
Jim
reminds me of
Carrey
the
before he
hobo
got
that does
famous.
heroin
I was
behind the
gonna
gas
mention Jim
station.
Carrey.
That's just because
Um,
I got the weird facial like the whole Jim Carrey's fucking weird facial expressions thing.
Jim
going
Carrey
on.
is literally my
very
favorite
different.
actor. So
Can you do your best Grinch face for me?
Yeah, I've been trying to do it lately, actually.
All right, right about there and hold. All right, so that's the new thumbnail for the podcast.
Bitch, do you make the thumbnails?
I'll make a thumbnail for you if you want, man. I mean, the best thing that we could have
It's
right
like
now.
Pennywise mixed with the Grinch.
Yeah, can we just call this podcast the ghost
I
that
think
stole the
you're-
podcast?
I think
'Cause
you're
that's
over.
the best
I
thing
think you're
ever.
overestimating how much you move your face, Dice.
I don't honestly don't know how Jim Carrey moves his face and contorts it like he does.
Well, because
Alrighty
it's not.
then.
It's
I
not
I
just
love
his
when he does
face.
that.
It's his. It's
Alrighty
his
then.
neck. It's his neck position too.
Exactly. He does have very
When he does
good,
his
like,
when he
neck
does his
as
big
well.
smile stretch, he actually comes down and leans his neck backwards.
Yeah, like Jim Carrey develops 8 chins because he like contorts his neck in like a really specific
Yeah,
angle.
I don't
It's
have the-
really awesome.
Yeah, I don't have nearly the features to do it, but
I
Yeah,
have
he's
all this
like-
extra skin from when I used to be fat.
I mean, if you look at that image right there, he's like halfway. He's like halfway of becoming Jim Carrey. He's so close.
I gotta grow a little bit.
I
I
can't
gotta
do it.
turn into a beautiful Jim Carrey
I can't do it. I
butterfly.
can't do his facial features, but I can do
Now, if you guys want a perfect Jim Carrey, I want you to check out
a
Yes
perfect
Man, the
Jim
movie.
Carrey. I can do a perfect Jim Carrey
Oh my
impression,
God.
bro.
That,
Jim
that
Carrey-
really
my
Dude,
Jim-
I don't think Jim Carrey will
My
ever
Jim
be, like,
Carrey is perfect. It's spot
better
on.
than The Mask or like when he was Ace Ventura. I loved that movie.
That's rude.
yeah,
So what
I
you're
do
saying
agree.
is Yes Man is better than both of those?
The 90s Jim
I haven't
Carrey.
seen Yes Man in so fucking
Yeah.
long. I'm gonna be honest.
Yes
I
Man was
literally
good.
watched it for 2 weeks straight every day.
That
so.
is weird.
I think I like the beginning of Yes Man much more than its ending, and I know that's a
You guys
controversial.
seen Free
opinion.
Guy yet?
I need to see Free
No.
Guy.
I
I
haven't.
actually
I
want to
would
see
like
it.
to see it though. Was it good?
I've seen it.
Oh,
Now
yeah.
is Free Guy free? Is it on the web?
I mean,
free guys, free guys. It is free.
Luck is free on
That should
Steam.
have been their promoting thing. Like, Free Guy is free, guys.
Yeah.
Free guy is free guys.
Dude,
it's
I had
actually secretly 3 guys.
I had a close encounter of a Kevin the other day.
You had a close
What's a
encounter
Kevin?
with the third guy.
A
Yeah,
Kevin is the
what-
male version of Karen.
Oh, is
Oh,
this-
dude, is that
is
like a
it though?
bald man
I've-
in his
I've never
40s who
heard it that
tells the
way.
waiter like, who asks the waiter like, "Hey, is this undercooked?"
Essentially,
No,
yes.
no, I'm not telling you to send it back. I just want you to tell me, is this undercooked?
Essentially,
is this what it normally
yes.
looks like when it comes out of the kitchen? I just
Essentially,
want to
yes.
know.
So
Yeah,
Well, that's
me,
just-
me and Pinky,
I think I'll have something else.
me and Pinky were at Walmart, right? And we always do the self checkout because it's just faster. Okay, it's
Pinky
just
sounds
faster.
like the name of like your sex toy.
Yes, it is.
It is.
Yeah, but it's like it sounds more like a
Kind
pegging
of gay, honestly.
like object.
Yeah, it is.
Your pinky ring.
But
Yeah, it
anyways,
is.
you were at the mall with the sex toy, and then
Walmart.
what happened?
Walmart.
he's
I was at
carrying his blow-up
Walmart,
doll. So he's carrying his blow up doll around Walmart.
and the dude has the audacity to say to me, "Can I get a turn?" No. So
Well,
we're
you shouldn't have been using it in the produce aisle.
hey, cucumber.
Cucumber.
They
But
call me the
no, so
kookaburra.
the thing was like we're there in the self checkout and we're at the kiosk that's right next to like the employee kiosk thing. You know, like the vigilante that watches over the self checkout lanes.
Oh yes, the either retarded or disabled person.
Yeah, but it was actually
Yes.
a normal person.
Oh okay.
And all I hear from behind me is just this old grumpy dude walking, and all I hear is just fucking right behind me, almost haunting in my ear. He just goes, I'm gonna call and get all of you reported for fraud because you can't be advertising prices that don't exist and then charging more for it." And I was just like, I turned around and all I see is this overweight, fucking balding 40-some-year-old man yelling at this like 18-year-old girl behind the stand. And I was like, what the? And I was waiting for him to yell more because I was gonna just randomly get involved just for fun. I was waiting for him to like yell at.
I really want to hear Vari raise his voice at an old man.
Yeah. Well, he was clearly just fucking. He was like,
sir.
he was being loud with this obvious kid. Like they had the yellow name tag and everything, so they were actually below the age of 18. But he's just like, I'm gonna call and get this whole. I'm gonna report all you employees for fraud. Because you can't advertise a price and then it'd be something different in store. And I was like, in my head, I'm usually like, actually, below every coupon, it says prices may vary per location. So there's that. And then she's like, okay, I'll go.
And you just shove it down his fucking throat.
And then he was just, all right, I'll go get the manager. He's like sitting there. He's like, he just keeps like tapping his toe. He's like, it's fucking ridiculous. I can't believe this shit. And he's like trying to get other customers riled up with him, and everyone's just staring at him. I was waiting for him. I was literally like, if he yells again, I'm just gonna turn around and just start shouting at him and see what happens. Like I was literally,
have a story similar.
I wanted him to just yell so I could be like, hey, you best calm down, motherfucker.
And he's like, I don't want to pay these prices, and you're like, I like paying more for the stuff.
You'll pay the price and you'll fucking like it. You'll pay it. You'll pay it right now.
My dick is so small that I will pay whatever price they tell me.
I have no confidence, and I have such low self-esteem that I'm willing to agree with anything and everything that is put in front of me.
And he's like, you know what? Yeah.
And then one of the workers
I also drive a stilted pickup.
One of the workers is like, God, I love when the customers have no conviction. Vari's like, then I do too.
But no, dude, it was just wild just to hear someone like literally like causing a fucking scene over like I think it was $12.
Oh no,
most likely it was Walmart.
I had the same thing happen.
No, he was like, it was like I have to pay $136 instead of the $124 that the fucking online price said or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, you're fucking probably retired already. You goddamn, your dick don't work. Just
every day.
Buy it online if you want the price, bitch.
Because I work at right now. I work at an Advanced Auto, and we have an online thing.
That's a weird
and
way of
so many
saying
people
Taco
come
Bell.
in, and they're like, online. It says it's cheaper, and I have to explain to him that the online version of Advanced Auto operates as its own separate store, and that store sends us the product so that you can come pick it up when you buy it from them, and they just don't understand that. And
like, well, you're the same store. I don't understand. It says Advanced Auto Parts. Advanced Auto Parts.
Dude, exactly. Like
$12 here, $12 here, not $12 here, $12.50 here.
Oh,
dude, it's like it's
literally
not
as we
even
sat down at
inaccurate.
the desk. By the way, too, I got my confirmation on the iPhone 13.
Nice. But the other day I literally just left because our Parts Pro, because in Advance we have two counters. We have the DIY counter, which is where I work as a full-time team member, and then there's the commercial counter where this guy, I'm not gonna call, we'll call him Bobby.
His real name's Brobby.
It actually is.
His real name is Froppy.
Okay, Froppy. Okay, so Froppy.
Oh,
Froppy works the commercial counter, and the commercial counter is where they get like all the body shops, maintenance places, and like
that's where they get bodied.
Auto shops coming at their parts at a very, very discounted price because they're commercial customers. The other day, Robbie just left an hour before his shift was over.
Bobby?
Froppy,
yes.
Yeah, so Froppy just left an hour before his shift was over. So I literally had to, I'm the only team member there. I don't have any manager numbers. So I literally had to close the store for an hour in the middle of the day until another manager showed up. The other manager shows up. He's like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, Froppy just left, dude. He's like, oh, fuck. So he's trying to get all this shit figured out. And then a commercial customer comes in and is like, Froppy had a suspended transaction ready for me, and I need to pick up my rotors and calipers. So I go over to Froppy's commercial counter, and there's no fucking rotors or calipers anywhere. And there's no slip for the suspended transaction. So I'm trying to explain to this guy for like 10 minutes. Like, I'm sorry, the guy never suspended the transaction. So he's like, can you pull up the can you pull up the fucking like parts? So I pull up the parts, and the guy's like, I wasn't told they're gonna be that fucking much. And I'm like, Profi told ZJ they're probably gonna be a lower price because he has all the commercial powers. This guy gets fucking pissed and starts screaming at me. He's like, well, it's fucking bullshit that y'all told me that you'd have it ready for me and that I could come in here and get it at this price, and I can't even. And I'm like, dude, I can't fucking do anything. What do you want me to do? I'm a DIY team member. I don't work commercial. And he's like, why don't you fucking change the price? I'm like, because I can't. And he's like, you haven't even tried yet. And I look him right in the eye and I go, well, I ain't fucking going to. And good luck trying to get him anywhere else. And then I grabbed my keys and I went home.
See, that's the problem with your generation, Dice. Is you
Somebody else's fault.
No, I literally looked. I was like, you can try to figure it out. I'm going home. And then I looked at my manager. I looked right at my manager and I was like, hey, I'm heading out. I'll see you when I see you. And he just went,
"Sa, dude."
his name's Juan, dude. He's awesome. He hates working there.
Dude, I love Chinese money. Am I right?
Hello, Disney. I didn't know you were in the call.
All right, Kaiju.
Oh shit! Did
Hi,
you guys see
my
that
name's Dissects
China?
Twitch, and you're watching Disney Channel.
For a
What the
second there,
fuck
I
did
thought
you
you were
just
about
draw?
to play the Mario thing. I
No,
was
that
about to
doesn't look like it.
have
It's obviously.
What the fuck did you just draw?
Hi,
If you-
I'm
Y'all, it's
Josh
literally
Peck,
just 3
and you're watching
circles.
Disney Channel.
What are you guys
Did you guys
doing?
see the,
You're
RTX
watching the Disney Channel.
I'm gonna link that.
What are you guys drawing? What is
Yo,
this?
what up? My name Young Thug, and you watching Disney Channel. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-bop.
That's the Mario songs. So,
Yeah.
All right, what
No,
else?
that's-
What else? What else was there?
you had the thing about Graves.
Yes. Oh my God. So I went to the chiropractor the other day, right? And we're sitting in the waiting area, which is more like a waiting hallway that has a TV in it.
Uh-huh.
Be
And
like
so
that.
it's me, Pinky, and there's some dude across from us that looks like he recently got out of prison. He's like has all the tattoos, he's got like the eye drop under the eye and the whole fucking sleeves
okay.
and everything.
He's a killer.
All right.
Yeah.
Dude, I love the killer.
But so we're just sitting there and none of us are really paying attention. We're all on our phones playing, and I just look up at the TV and it's like Spectrum News today at 5. It's gonna be fucking burials and the new vegan type of burial.
These two homosexual men have sex.
Vegan bear. Oh, I remember.
So it's like they're calling it natural burials, and so basically what it is you can buy a plot on a conservation what's the word?
A burial plot.
No, you can buy a burial
On
plot
a
on a conservation.
cemetery?
No, on a nature conservation. You
a
can
nature
buy.
reserve.
A
You can buy
cemetery.
a grave plot on a nature conservation place, and basically what it is
Get in there.
you have to hike 20 minutes up this nature preserve. Okay, I'm fucking up now. I'm like having an aneurysm. I'm thinking about it. I'm just. I know.
I'm listening.
I'm having a stroke. I'm laughing at the same time.
Oh,
So
you should
basically,
do that in Photoshop.
you have to pay these people for a grave plot on a nature conserve, and it's like a 20-minute hike to go to the place. And then when you get there, you have to dig the hole yourself. You have to lower the body yourself. You have to fill the hole yourself. And you're not allowed to put a tombstone, but you can put like a flat rock on top that has the person's name on it, or you can put a tree or some flowers.
Bro, so you literally just go with
So
your
you have
buddies
to
and
like
bury
hike.
your
Yeah, you have
homie's
to
body.
hike. You have to hike 20 minutes with
Up a
Grandpa
mountain.
over your shoulders, just to get to a certain area to dig the hole yourself. Put Grandpa in the grave yourself and cover it up. Meanwhile, Grandma is lost on the trail to a cougar 3 miles down.
There's a DNR officer wondering whether or not to call it in.
But yeah, they want to. And here's what the woman says. She's like, a funeral, I feel like, with family activity and cooperation will be easier on them. I was like, little Timmy at the age of 9 does not want to be covering his grandma in dirt with a shovel. Yeah, like grandma just died, and you're gonna make me throw her in a hole and call it a day? Like,
There's there's like worms and shit in here. Like,
What's gonna happen? To
Like,
her when we
how?
put her
Who
on the
think?
ground?
they're like raising her up, and like the like he drops one side of it, and all of it unrolls, and her dead corpse just falls into
Yeah,
the
and you're not
hole.
allowed to use a
Like,
coffin. No, you're not allowed to use a. I don't think you're allowed to use a roll. I don't think you're allowed to use a. You're not allowed to use a coffin for sure. I don't know if you're allowed to use like a fabric roll. I think it just has to be the body.
Yeah, you're just hiking like
A
it's World War
naked
II.
Literally,
dog,
dude.
No clothes.
With his-
Literally,
with
dude.
Grandpa's sack just hanging down like a monkey's tail.
Dude, it was like so fucking insane. Like I was with it the entire time until they go, yeah, you guys just have to dig the hole yourself, lower the body yourself, and then fill the hole yourself. And
Is
with
it
that
free,
family,
or, like,
no,
what the
you pay
fuck?
for
You
it.
pay for it, yeah.
You
What?
pay for that plot on the conservation
You
to go
paid
dig
to
the
fucking
hole.
bury
Yeah,
a body
yeah,
like a '90s mobster.
yeah, dude. You pay to go dig that hole and
Dude,
throw
I know a
grandma
couple
in it.
people I could pay $500 and they'd go do that to anybody for me.
But you get that shallow
Like,
grave.
I could make 3 phone calls and have a couple people have that done to them, but like, well, fuck it, let's just do water burials where you get to like put the fucking dead body's feet in a bucket full of concrete.
But yeah, up
and
like
then
up
throw
until
'em
that
off a bridge.
up until that point, I was totally with them. I was like, okay, I can see that. Like people wouldn't do that. They want to plant a fucking tree on top of grandpa and let it grow and shit like
You know,
that. And then they're
I'm
like, you
cool
dig the
anyway.
hole. Until they started saying, yeah, the whole the family activity of burying a loved one is
All right.
what brings us all together. I was like,
want you guys
okay,
all
no.
to-
Freeze
you guys-
frame, record scratch. This is me. I bet you're wondering how grandpa got here.
I want you all to close your minds and picture you're about to watch a YouTube
Close my
video,
mind.
and an unskippable ad comes up. and all you hear is
You ever wanted to dig a hole?
Natural burials have become the biggest thing since sliced bread. But what else would you do with your dead so that the world could live better?
You ever wanted to role play the
Water
holes book?
burials. You know, I just think that water burials are such a good and natural way to give back to the environment that we just take so much from in our lives. Water burials are a good way to get rid of your grandfather's dead body while also feeding your local marine wildlife. You see, a lot of people like our water burials. Yes, you do have to mix the concrete yourself and put the body in the bucket so that it solidifies around the feet in a shoe-like form. But after that, you know, all you
But
gotta
it's a
do is
great
just toss it
family
over the
activity.
bridge. It's a
It'll
great
really bring the
activity.
family
It's a good way
together.
for mourning widows and grieving wives to come together after a death in the family. And just give
Mistresses
back
and
to
wives
the
alike.
environment. And the best
Coming
part
up
is that the cement itself is biodegradable. So after 3 years of being at the bottom of the lake bed and being gnawed and ripped apart by fish and other marine wildlife, the body and its bones just slowly dissipate into the water. So it's almost like the whole lake is connected to your relative.
Coming up next,
Dude, it's
six.
literally
And
insane.
then
Those are
finally the
basically
ad's
the
over
government.
and it's like the massive horse cock weighs over 7 pounds.
But yeah, dude, we're like all in the chiropractor's office laughing about this because I'm like, yeah, because that's really what anybody that just watched someone die wants to do. And the woman
That's
literally
cool.
said it's like a 15-minute hike, and I'm like, how the fuck are these people expected to hike a body 15 fucking minutes into the woods
So I went and got
without
my
one looking
vaccination today.
suspicious?
So I went and
The
got
police walk by.
my vaccination today.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
did you do it because Family Guy told you to?
Yeah. No.
So that
It's
I just
true.
did it.
Family Guy said to go get
Dude,
your
why
vaccine.
why don't you have
Everybody
Tourette's
go get
yet?
your vaccine because
Huh?
Stewie
Well, you
and
got your
Brian
vaccine. Why
told
don't you have
to.
Tourette's yet?
What are you talking about? Anyways, so
When's that
but
congestive
that's not
heart
even,
failure
that's
gonna
not even
hit?
like part of the story. I went into but I was in the waiting room and this family comes in and they have like this. He's like he had. to
And
be, like,
immediately
12.
they
He
start
was
digging
way
this
too
hole.
old. He was way too old to be this stupid. But this kid comes in. He's
No,
like
he's
12
not.
years old, and the nurse had a Bluetooth speaker, like just a normal looking Bluetooth speaker, playing music in the waiting room. And he walks in
Mhm.
and he goes, "Oh my god!" And he runs over to it and he goes, "Is this an Alexa?" And then he proceeds to go, "Siri, hey Siri."
That kid
Siri!"
was definitely fucking with everybody.
no,
Yeah,
dude, you can't.
He
like,
called
bring
it.
that, like-
He called it an Alexa and then said, "Hey Siri." He was definitely fucking with everybody.
Like, I would hope so.
I hope so.
you
but
can't-
You did not see the enthusiasm and disappointment on this kid's face.
Well, yeah, you
when
gotta
he did not
commit to the
respond to,
bit.
"Hey,
You
Siri."
gotta commit to the bit.
disappointment.
There's
Just-
no,
no,
you
from the way
can't
this
call
kid
some.
acted-
You can't know what an Alexa is and not know you have to say, "Hey Alexa."
Actually, you just have to say Alexa. You don't have to say hey.
Oh my bad. See, but you can't know what an Alexa is and then be like, "Oh, but I to operate it, I have to call it a
Yeah,
different
but there was
name."
also no way you could think that the speaker was an Alexa.
Well, yes, there is if you're doing a
But
bit.
yeah, if you're retarded.
Something told me that kid might have needed a little bit more than a COVID vaccine.
It sounds like you got too many COVID vaccines.
It sounds like he got Johnson and Johnson, to be honest.
Rest in peace.
I do want to talk.
We get hit with the fucking Wikipedia label at the bottom of the video because we're talking about the vaccine.
Oh,
fucking,
yeah.
The
I,
CDC says the vaccine is very mandatory and good for you.
Hey, I did find out
Okay.
though because my I didn't go to like just a like I didn't just
I didn't
get
go
it
to
at
a
my work or
Walmart.
go to like a Walmart and get it done. I went to my like longtime healthcare physician and she I had her sit me
And
down
she
and
cried
I
and
talked to her
begged
for,
him
like,
not
an
to get
hour
it.
about it. And you know, after we banged one out and so
Alright.
I anyways I after I pulled my pants back up she was like so the whole booster
Got the
shot
shot in the
thing,
pee-pee.
the whole booster shot thing is like a complete fucking like bullshit. The only people
Well-
who need boosters are people who are over the age of 75 and highly at risk.
Well, the only people that need the vaccine anyway are over 30. So
Yeah,
if
I
you,
just
if
got
you
it
actually look at the
'cause
numbers for children, it's very, very low.
I only got it because my whole family's like skeptical as fuck and shit. So I got it so I could be like their control. So when they're worried about it, they could be like, "Wait a second, he got it, and he's
yeah,
not
the vaccine.
dead."
The vaccine's safe. It's. I mean,
I
you
did-
have as
I
much
did
risk
have
of
it.
dying
I
from
did-
coronavirus as you do getting adverse.
I
effects
had
from
to
a
have an
vaccine.
argument with my grandma over this, and I was. Did I talk about that? I
Oh,
don't remember if I talked
no, wait,
about that.
No.
I want to hear about that, but wait, I wanted to bring up one more thing. The craziest thing
here
about
he goes.
Moderna, which is the one that I got, is that the Moderna vaccine, like the messenger RNA that they use, that's like the main component in it, because the Moderna vaccine has modified RNA.
These
in
words
it,
mean
which
nothing to me.
is like
Yep.
blueprints that teach your cells how to create the spike molecule that is in corona, and it metabolizes it into your system so that when you get if corona enters your bloodstream, your body can immediately digest it and process it. But that the modified RNA has been being researched and being like experimented with for the past 40 years with viruses such as West Nile, Ebola, and I think it was SARS.
Ebola.
Yeah, that's
But-
SARS was one of the biggest.
Yeah.
Biggest.
Dude,
ones
you
of
can't
trials,
get a
I guess.
vaccine for
But
stars.
the
They're in
only
the
thing
sky.
that they've been able to get it to effectively work with in terms of reprogramming DNA is the spike protein that's in corona. So it's not that it's like a new thing that they just made that they're like, oh, let's hope it fucking works. It's been being researched for over 4 decades. It's just now they've got a virus that it actually works against.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And they just, they you know, it sucks because they made the virus so that they could find if it worked
Exactly.
against
I
it.
mean,
But
they
at the end of the
the
day,
The
like
virus
it's just like
literally
turn it in
came
another
from
direction
the
where I'm like,
coronavirus lab in China. So
I'm completely pro-vaccine, but I still believe that the government made Corona. So I'm like, it sucks that they made it and released it into the general population, but I'm glad that the vaccine is working.
by all means, get your virus. Get your
virus, get your virus!
Get your vaccine. Whoops, my bad. Sorry.
No, I got into
the beast for all I care.
I got into such a
but-
fucking I got into such a dumb argument with my grandma because just the simple fact that she was like just out of nowhere she's like, oh, the vaccine's changing our DNA and making it like she's just going off on this tangent. I was like, Grandma, do I seem any different than you? To you? And she's like, no, what are you talking about? And I was like, I literally got vaccinated like 3 months ago. I'm pretty sure my DNA is the same.
You're far more depressed now.
Yeah, but that's not that was after the
You know,
shot.
Vari, I heard you talking the other day about how you wanted to be a girl.
Yeah, but I've wanted that since before the shot.
Fair point.
No, but she was just like, it can alter our DNA. And I was like, Grandma, if we had the ability to alter people's DNA, the first thing they would do is not fuck with Corona.
No, I
The
checked
first
my.
thing we would do is get bigger cocks, man. Why
No, I like,
would we mess with viruses?
We don't have the technology to modify people's DNA with just a little fucking syringe.
Right?
don't
Like,
have
no,
the
I
technology.
I fast checked my buddy at work the other day because I told him I was getting vaccinated, and he said he was sitting there on his phone, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm getting vaccinated." He looked at me really weird, and I was like, "What the fuck's that look for?" And he was like, he looks back at his phone, and he goes, "I promise you that within 6 months you're gonna be back in the hospital because of that."
You're
And
gonna
I
be
just went up to him.
retarded.
I went up to him. I went up to him because I went up to him and I grabbed his phone and I put it down. I said, "How much money you want to put on that?" And he looked at me and he said, "What?" I said, "I'll put $400 on it right now."
400 grand.
And he was like, "What?" And I was
You
like,
get into
"I'll
a
bet you money
horrible
right now if
six-
I'm back in the hospital because of this vaccine." He was like, "No, I'm not gonna bet on it. I just know that you'll be back." I was like, "Okay, so you're not gonna bet on it, but you know I'm
Yeah,
gonna be
so
back
you
in the
don't
hospital.
believe in it. Whoops.
So you don't believe yourself?" And he's like, "No, man, I just know." And I'm like, "You know what? Like, you know that you don't want to bet on it because you're not that confident in yourself." And he fully backed down.
Yeah.
He's
Look,
a little bit
For,
of a,
like,
he's
all I
like,
can imagine, like 6 months down the line, you get into like a horrible car accident. He's at the hospital. He's like, "Run that 400, bitch."
no, if I get sick from the vaccine, if I get sick, from
Nope,
my
that wasn't a deal.
vaccination,
You said
will
if I
find
said
him.
you'll end up in the hospital in 6 months. Guess what
Yeah,
today
but
is, Dash?
but
You're on the
listen,
hospital bed.
he said-
You're in a
he said,
hospital
"I
bed. Run me my
guarantee you."
400.
He said-
Run me
he
my
said-
400. Run my 400.
He said,
Sir,
"I
we can't
promise
run
you."
400.
that
you
you'll
find
be
out
in
he
the
was driving the other
hospital in
car.
6 months because of that vaccine. He said it's gonna make me sick, and I was like, "I'll bet you fucking 400." it
Run
won't."
me. He's like, the doctor's like, "You also have the flu." And he's like, boom, 400, boom.
Excuse me, since the coronavirus, there's been no flu deaths.
No, but then we got into an argument. She's like, "They're trying to block out the sun." I was like, what? I was like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "There's a rich man. He's trying to block out the sun by shooting dust into the air."
There's a lot of them.
There's a lot of rich
I was like,
men,
"Grandma, what are you talking? Without the sun, we all die. Why would
like, "I
someone
got
want
rid
to
of the
block
apples
the
again."
sun?" And then Harley
Now,
pulls up
if
the
she was
article.
talking about the Democrats wanting to suck the blood out of children.
What does that have to do with blocking the sun?
Now that is an issue.
No, so
Imagine
what she was referring
That is
to,
an
what she's referring to, I guess there's a philanthropist out there right now currently that is trying to repair the ozone by launching dust particles into the air to help try to form the barrier again. I don't fucking remember, dude. It was
Why?
weeks ago.
Fucking
That's
John
not
McAfee.
so-
problem.
But it's completely different than blocking out the sun is my point. It's like,
ozone works. That's what he's doing. What the fuck?
dude, I don't remember. He was
I already,
launching some
like-
specialized particle into the air, and I was like,
What the fuck is the
apparently
name of this
retarded.
podcast gonna be? Is it gonna be
But-
Unfriended
but,
and
like-
Corona vaccines or like what the fuck?
Exactly.
but my
That's
point
what it
was
is.
when she initially
Corona
like,
stole our podcast.
she started her
Yeah,
statement.
The coronavirus crashed.
She's-
The government shut down this podcast halfway through because we were talking about the correlation between the dark web and coronavirus.
She started the whole sentence off with, "There's a rich man trying to block out the sun," and all I imagined was like Bezos like sending a giant metal sheet into the sky. Like,
It's just a big Amazon sign advertising Amazon.
I was like, "Grandma, they can't block the
Simultaneously,
sun."
all the Amazon billboards just start shuttling upwards and like colliding in the atmosphere to create a giant smile.
All the Amazon boxes come together.
The
and shoot through your
drones just.
ceiling.
Okay.
Oh,
Y'all
okay.
seen that fucking video about
Injecting sulfate
the-
particles into stratosphere could have drastic impact on the Earth's ozone
Injecting
layer.
sulfate particles into your wrists might have drastic impact on your
So
health.
that's what they're trying to do right now. They're trying to use sulfate particles to help restore the ozone.
Speaking of conspiracy theories, I watched a 2-hour documentary on a 9/11 conspiracy today for
Nice.
literally no reason. Or not exactly.
Overwatch 2?
I wanted to figure out why people think that there's a conspiracy for it, why other people think it. And I wanted to know what their reasons were, and a lot of the reasons are very half-baked, but I see their points in them. And I'm like, okay.
I
the points-
recently
Kinda
watched
crazy.
a 9/11 documentary. It wasn't a conspiracy one, but it was actually pretty. I won't
Oh,
say
yeah.
good because
Yeah,
kind of a
9/11
shitty event.
Over
But
9/11 was
the,
good.
The way that it happened was just like, wow, what a crazy
It's
time
so
to be in the
crazy.
right place at the worst time. No, it's the
It's
the one
crazy,
where
dude.
it's a really famous 9/11 documentary. It was supposed to be a documentary of the story of a firefighter going from boot camp to becoming a full-fledged firefighter.
Oh,
But
really?
halfway through them filming it, 9/11 happened. And they were just like, they were literally standing on the street as the fucking plane comes over.
Oh,
And
that's one of the most famous like video. That's the first
yeah,
plane
that's
that goes
the
over.
yeah, and it's like
Yeah.
they're the people that got that footage, and it's like the story is like I wouldn't, again, not saying incredible in like the sense of like whoa, but like just it's insane because it's like everything's on this track of like everything being completely normal. They literally, the firefighters were going to fix a sewer main that had like burst, so they're just like doing some standard shit, and then they hear all you hear is them go like, you hear the plane, and they're like, anybody else hear that fucking plane? And one of them goes, that's like, that sounds really low
all
for
you
New
hear,
York City. And then
all you hear
just-
that this is
Yeah,
yeah, and then it hands up, and you just
Yeah,
and then
it's
just
crazy.
all like the cameraman, because the cameramen for that documentary were brothers, and one of them was in the building when it collapsed, and the other guy was outside of it, and the camera guy who's outside of it is just running towards the building as you see it collapsing in on itself, and this wave of just debris coming towards him, and he ducks behind a car, and it just
Yeah, I
hits
watched
like a fucking solid
I
wall, and
watched
he's like,
probably 5 hours, or no, not 5, maybe 4 hours worth of documentaries when I was down in Cincinnati with my sister. It was around 9/11, so that would have been last week or
yeah, it was
week before.
insane.
So I watched like a lot, and it was a new documentary too. So it went over a lot of the history and stuff as well. And God, does it make me feel bad when I make 9/11 jokes?
I don't.
Like, I don't mind making jokes about 9/11 or about really bad things because you should be able to joke about anything. It doesn't matter what it is.
Right.
But
Like
God,
comedy's
it makes me
objective.
feel
Shock
really
factor
bad
is a
about it
big
because
part
it's
of
so
comedy.
unfortunate. It sucks that all these people died because of
Oh, yeah,
the
it's horrible.
government's mistakes and the
I mean,
fact
it's not
that they
that
were
bad if you
playing
think about
fucking
it.
war games while this shit was going on and they didn't even bother
Well,
to
the whole
take care
thing
of the
is, like,
problems.
It's so stupid because, like, for like the whole week after 9/11 happened, the America was basically sitting around like, why did they do this? Do they hate America? Like, do they hate our freedom? Why did this happen? When it's like literally a week before it happened, they released an entire manifesto of all of their reasoning and exactly what they were gonna do, and we were just like,
Yeah, and I honestly didn't know that in the 90s that they bombed the World Trade Center in the first place. They bombed a parking garage underneath.
Yeah.
it.
They did.
I
Yeah.
didn't realize that. I watched the documentary this last couple weeks, and I'm like, holy shit! How did I not know this? Why didn't they teach us in school? Like, this is part
there's
of
a
the
lot
lead up
of
to the
there's
fact
like
that
a
this
lot
happened.
of stuff that they just kind of skip over.
It's
in
very
school.
important stuff.
It is.
Like-
It legitimately is.
It's
That's what puts it-
amazing context to the fact that these people actually did this. It doesn't matter if some of them were funded by CIA because they were in the Mujahideen and they wanted to defeat the USSR and they were trained by that shit. It doesn't matter because these people were radicalized anyway.
Yeah, like
They were going to do this shit and they're terrible people.
yeah, like
And that's a
Aged
lot of
Warthog
the
go
questions the conspiracy theories are based off of.
brrrr.
Did you say
Yeah,
plane
it's-
go burr?
I said A10 Warthog goes brrrr. Y'all
mean,
got
it
super
do.
fucking serious. Jesus.
because it's
Y'all got
it's
super
hard.
serious.
It's
It's
such a
hard to
weird
listen to you
topic.
two be serious.
That's
You two
why
are the
I
most
think it's
fucking like
so-
chalant motherfuckers ever.
It's such a that's
I've had
what
a
I mean.
lot of
Like
liquor.
it's a good like it's actually like kind of a good
Barometer.
thing to hold that whole.
Listen,
topic
we're not
up
trying
serious.
to
It's like,
replace Joe
yeah,
Rogan,
it can turn
guys.
some of the weirdest things serious because it's so strange that
Not yet.
something like that even happened. Like it's weird because
It's
it's
strange
also
that
such a
someone bombed
localized
us.
event. Because if you think
It
about
is.
it, 9/11 was horrible, but
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
you can think like that's just something for our country. Think of people
Exactly.
who live in Beirut.
Well,
Like
fucking
there's no
a child
way-
dropping their ice cream is terrible to a child. I mean,
Well, that's what I. But
Well,
like,
I mean, like,
but
it's not big
what
to
I'm
them.
saying is like,
Yeah.
if you live in Beirut, and this isn't like
I don't even
I'm
know
not
what that is.
shitting on them, but 9/11 doesn't mean shit to you compared to what happened to their fucking fire that depot last year.
Well,
That
there's
huge
Yep.
explosion
that was
went
their
off that
fault.
took like half. But
That
so
was
was
their
like the
fault.
biggest
biggest
I don't want to be
explosion
like
too.
I was
but like, people in the USA don't care about that.
they didn't fly
Really?
a
That's
plane
like,
because
oh,
there
shit,
wasn't a
that really
plane.
happened.
It didn't involve a plane. It doesn't matter.
true.
It's not a tragedy unless a plane's involved.
Also, if you think about
We
it,
had three, no four. There was four planes.
The US government was actually training for terrorist attacks with planes prior to 9/11. actively
Mm-hmm.
and didn't
Oh,
do
yeah.
anything about it, except for the plane that went over Pennsylvania. That's supposedly been shot down. But
What the fuck is
We'll go with-
happening right now?
And let's talk about Flight 332 while we're
Oh
at
my
it.
god, why did we fucking...
basically,
Why did you get him
whatever
started on
happened to
planes?
that?
This
How
is
did
why I don't
Tower
let Dice talk
7
about planes.
And Amelia Earhart, like, whatever happened to that bitch?
She probably got back in the kitchen where she belongs.
No,
Didn't
you know
she
that
look
it's
like-
like
hold on.
in
Like, hold on.
fucking
Recap.
Madagascar or
no, it's
like
theorized
Indonesia.
that she was eaten by coconut crabs.
Yeah, they found like a corpse on
I
a...
think
They found a
her
corpse...
plane recently, didn't they?
I don't know if they found the
No,
plane, but they
hold
found a
on.
random ass corpse, and they're like, "This is probably the lady," because it was a lady's corpse.
Really?
Yeah, well, yeah,
Yeah.
it was like down in like a coconut crab like den or something like that. It was believed like it was like a rumor, and then it became like a urban legend, and then it's like holy shit, it actually might have been true that like coconut shrimp ate her dead body.
The watery
But that
sand
actually
of-
sucks though. That coconut shrimp, really?
Coconut
Yeah,
crabs.
the- Oh, coconut
investigations of
crabs, the
blue
giant
heaven.
fuckers.
Kaiju, you sound like a fucking bass-boosted World War II narrator.
No, it was found on Nakuru Island. They literally fucking found it on shore this year.
Yeah, there's a plane.
Really?
I see it. Flight 19, yeah.
Re-
They didn't find it
really?
on shore. It's definitely in the ocean.
Wait, they actually found that shit?
They found the plane.
Like, is it DNA tested or
5 minutes?
Not the
man.
body, the plane.
the
the
plane? Oh,
plane.
the plane.
The
Okay.
plane
They
is what
fucking
he's talking
found the
about.
plane.
They
God
found the
damn it.
plane.
Really?
Yeah, well, it was only a matter of time. Like,
I mean, obviously, but there's a lot of places to search. So yeah, I mean, you're right. It is a matter of time, but that's crazy.
yeah.
To find the plane?
Well, yeah, but like
Yeah.
that's one of the like biggest like fucking mysteries of the world. So of course, like people are going to
Exactly.
constantly look for it, and there's constantly groups and groups of people looking for it. So
It took a long time.
it did take a long time because there is
It-
she
it
had a
is
very
exactly what
big
it is.
flight path.
Legitimately, like so far
Wait.
out from Australia or Hawaii or anything even remotely possible.
Mhm.
Look, go to Google Maps right now and take a look at it.
I'm
it looks
looking
like
at
a
it,
fucking
Kaiju. I'm
shark
looking
dock.
at it.
It
Is
looks
it
like
the
a
one where
shark-
it's underwater?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it also probably was pushed around by.
Oh yeah, it was
ocean
definitely
currents and
abused by
stuff.
the ocean like a dirty little girl.
Yeah, but just like she was.
No, she was abused by crabs. Which, by the
Man,
way,
we're-
that is a terrifying way to die because of how big coconut crabs are. Coconut crabs are actually monsters. Like
I gotta look it up so I can see what a coconut crab.
coconut
looks like.
crabs are monsters, bro. They are the scariest version of crabs besides the giant Japanese 6-foot tall walking ones.
You talking about the
Okay.
spider crabs?
Dude,
Oh,
those
yeah,
things
yeah.
haunt my fucking dreams.
Spider
Dude.
crabs are actually terrifying. There's actually a video game where they're
I would
like
love
one
to
of the
eat the
main
shit out of that.
antagonists.
All right, Zach.
There's actually this like video game where you play on like an underwater like oil rig like miles beneath the ocean and like everything
Oh,
goes
Bioshock?
wrong. No, and like you have to put on like fucking what are they called? Frogman suit, like the
Oh,
big.
Soma.
It's no.
No, Soma's
No,
the one
fuck
with the
no,
weird
Soma.
alien
Okay.
thing.
But,
Where like you
and then, like, you have
object
to
your
go out
consciousness
into the
to
water.
space.
It's an amnesia game.
And there's like
basically.
cuttlefish, and then
Cuttlefish?
one of the main enemies are fucking coconut crabs, and they're massive, dude.
Yeah.
I'm not coconut. That's spider crabs.
Yeah. Why is Steam trending on Twitter? What's going on?
That's crazy
So-
that they finally found the plane, like the whole fucking
Yeah.
thing.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. I'm honestly upset that she died. That's very upsetting to me.
Who, Amelia Earhart?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like
She died a
legitimately.
long time. Even if she was alive, even if she lived through that, she
To
would
get torn
died.
apart by fucking coconut crabs is just.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
a bad way to go. She's probably
That's
already
shitty.
dead because it's theorized that
She's
she ran out of.
probably already dead.
No, legitimately, because like that's the thing is that it was.
I don't know,
theorized that
they
she
say those
eventually
fuckers are
did run out of
aggressive.
gas.
They
Huh?
say those fuckers are aggressive, and she was actually a survivalist in some way, shape, or form. So she
Oh,
probably was actually killed by the coconut crabs.
Oh yeah, well, like theoretically though, if she would have ran out of gas, which is most likely what it would have happened, being an ocean flying like pilot like she was. The landing gear on planes like that would have not been suitable to land on a small island, so she probably had to make a crash landing,
Well, no
got
shit.
severely injured, and then was killed by coconut crabs.
Yeah,
That makes
that
sense to me.
literally sounds terrifying. Still, that's still like
Yeah.
one of the worst
Imagine
ways
just
to
like,
imagine.
oh my god, it'd be worse than being killed by rats. I think.
All right.
No,
Amelia
no.
Earhart.
Which one?
no.
Which would be worse and why?
Rats
Definitely
or
the
coconut-
rats because
or
they don't
coconut
have
crabs?
they don't have the power to like instantly kill you. Like a coconut crab, one good claw will kill you. A rat will
No.
take forever. Yes.
No,
Have
coconut
you guys-
crabs have claws
Coconut
like
crabs-
this big.
Coconut crabs can
Have you guys
destroy
seen
your
if there's
skull
some-
with one pinch,
Maybe
dude.
this big.
Have you
Coconut
guys seen
crabs
this-
like,
can
the
li- have-
claws like this big, but the pincers only like this big.
Coconut crabs have literally like killed humans by crushing their skulls.
Yeah, but this
That-
is assuming that she didn't fight back to begin with, and then in that
Yeah,
case,
so
it
it
would
takes
be, like,
one good
breaking her
it takes one
fingers.
good claw and they just instantly kill them. What I'm saying is there's a
The
greater
reason
chance of
why-
an instant death with a coconut crab. You have no chance of instant death with a rat.
Yeah.
If
The
I'm
luckiest
using a
death you'll
weapon
have with a
line,
rat is it chews
okay.
through one of your major arteries and you bleed out. But that's still going to take minutes.
Yeah, I would choose coconut crab if I wanted to die that way. But the worst thing I think is the actual torture method, which they
Poke
put
a
a
bowl.
rat in your shirt in a bowl and just watch the rat get hungry and start
Yeah.
eating you from the inside
Well,
out.
no, they use fire to like
They
cook
use
the
hot
rat.
coals
Yeah.
so that it
Yeah.
heats up and the rat has to eat its way out of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've all seen that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we've all seen
not a fan.
VHS.
But no,
Oh,
like,
God,
yeah,
this
dude.
movie's
In
not
terms of fear of coconut crabs, because I have horrible arachnophobia, and sometimes crabs trigger that. But
Well,
actually, in
alright,
terms
well,
of
I mean-
pain, rats.
Rats.
All right.
Rats all the way, man. Like rats are just disgusting in general. I would rather a
What?
crab.
I will die to
Rats
a.
are
I will.
nasty.
I will die.
Rats are
actual-
actually one of the cleanest animals.
Not feral
Like
rats.
actual rats.
Not a feral
Feral
rat. A feral
rats?
rat is a disgusting creature,
Nah, you're thinking of mice and gerbils.
which are smaller rats.
Nope, they're rodents. Rats are actually one of the cleanest, most cleaning animals on the
Not
planet.
feral animals, Dice. Every
Oh,
feral
no,
animal is
feral animals.
disgusting.
Nah,
They carry more
Yes.
disease with them than anything else would.
that's
which,
actually very untrue. It's the ticks
Doesn't
that they have that
matter.
constantly are eating off of them. Gerbils are
Doesn't
the ones that
matter.
actually
matter.
spread plagues.
that's true. But
Gerbils
mean,
are the ones
how
that are
much
responsible.
disease are you gonna get from a
Like-
coconut crab?
Zero. But you know the bubonic plague? It was actually the Black Plague was actually spread by gerbils.
Listen,
Rats
it
don't
doesn't.
even inhabit. They didn't have the right climate conditions to inhabit any of the areas that we've blamed them for spreading plagues.
Well, it's like that rodent variety, most likely.
Yeah, that's it, like they get a bad rep.
It's not
but
exactly
legitimately,
rats.
Rats are a very
It does-
useful animal.
The point being is a feral rat is disgusting, just like a feral dog is disgusting, or a feral cat is disgusting.
I've always thought of feral rats, like from my experience with handling them,
Feral
as, like,
in the
squirrels.
city
They're like squirrels.
is just disgusting. And squirrels are
Yeah,
disgusting.
okay, fair point. And
No,
squirrels,
squirrels are
rodents, too.
disgusting. Like
Crab
if the,
or 200 coconut crabs.
that's the thing is a coconut crab. They are like just naturally nasty animals.
Well,
So
I feel
are
like you can
so
have
are
the
all
right
animals.
What'd you
All
say?
animals are dirty. What do you
you
mean?
were out of this
Human-sized
conversation.
rat.
'cause you're severely
Feral
wrong.
humans are dirty.
Coconut crabs.
Humans are actually one of the most disgusting animals on the planet.
We're
Everyone
all,
keeps
every
talking over
animal's
you.
disgusting.
Yeah,
everybody
I mean,
calm down. I want to hear Kaiju's thing.
all
What'd
right,
you say,
would you
Kaiju?
fight one human-sized rat or 100 coconut crabs?
Neither.
Dude, I wouldn't try to fight Shifu if you fucking paid me, dude.
Shifu's
Shifu.
tiny.
Or no, that's Shihu. I'm thinking of Splinter.
There you go, yeah.
One giant rat.
Splinter's still kind of tiny though. Splinter's like 4'6".
Splinter would whoop the fuck out of any of us,
Oh,
though. You can't say
Dude,
shit
a giant
about
rat
that,
would
dude.
probably kill me. Like
So would 100 coconut crabs.
Okay, yeah, a giant rat.
can't
their
win.
bite
Would.
to size-
Yeah, you
their
can't win
bite to
either of
size
these fights.
ratio, Like
I would
the
rather
bite to
fight
size
crabs,
ratio of a fucking rat is
You'd rather
insane.
fight a
So for one
crab.
to be human size, like
100
they're-
crabs.
Yeah, he would fuck you up.
Dude, a
would
fucking
take the 100
giant
crab.
rat, like as tall as me,
What's the
I would
arena?
fucking die instantly.
What's the
That
arena?
rat would kill me.
Am I out in the wild?
You're
For
in-
the sake of simplicity, this is happening in your front yard or you're on the street that you drive off of.
Okay, yeah, I feel like if it was coconut crabs, I would just like be able to pick up a stick or something and whack them. But a giant rat
And do
like,
what? Tickle them? They're a crustacean. They have a thick outer shell.
You
can
can
kick
kick
'em
them
away.
You could easily
That's
kick them or
human-sized
break
thing.
them. Like they're not.
You
that
cannot easily
indestructible.
break a crab
Dude,
shell.
you can
Dude, I do
fucking
it with a
curb
hammer every time I go to
stomp
fucking
crabs.
Red Lobster.
That's a boiled crab.
You
I'll
can
boil them
a crab,
bitches then.
dude.
I'll get a fucking fire hydrant.
That water's not hot.
You could curb stomp a crab. You
You cannot curb stomp a crab.
Okay, fine.
You
I will take a
cannot
fire
curb stomp a
hose,
crab.
Fill the fire hose with water on a hot summer day. I'll train the crabs around for an hour and a half until the water heats up.
Crabs are slow.
They are slow.
You can barely
That is
curb
also
stomp a
another huge
huntsman
advantage in this
spider.
fight. This is a huge advantage in the fight, is you could at least run from
They have that-
100
Exactly.
coconut crabs.
How are you
A
gonna run if
giant
you're surrounded
rat-
by 100 coconut crabs?
You cannot run from a giant human-sized rat.
You have a better
Dude.
chance of outrunning one rat than being literally surrounded on
Okay,
all sides.
But you have to understand, the
Rats
coconut
aren't
crab
exactly
moves at
known
like
for their speed, especially when they're fat.
Rats, it would be like a fucking horror movie where you're climbing through a log and you just like
Okay,
coming in
but
from each side.
Dice, you are literally surrounded by coconut crabs. One claw shatters your
There's
leg.
100 of them, dude. They're like a foot.
It doesn't
They're
matter.
like,
One
they weigh
wrong
a
placed
pound.
claw and your leg
Over top of
shattered.
them, but just run.
I could
Not
just-
100 of them. They're huge. Coconut crabs are so big. They would take up so.
They're this
They're only like
big.
a foot tall.
That is
maybe.
big. What do you mean?
Barney's like thinking of the spiders from Satisfactory, like.
No, dude. Coconut crabs are actually huge.
All right,
If
fine.
you
100 spider-sized coconut crabs or 100 coconut crab-sized spiders?
Neither. God damn, that's just
Crab.
horrifying.
4
They're all
millimeters.
daddy long legs.
Had you, if you stopped sounding like you're in World War II, it would be a lot easier to tell what you're actually saying.
All right, give me a minute. Hold on.
Everything about him is like bass
Unfriended. He's
boosted.
dead now.
I can't understand a word he's saying because all of it sounds like.
Dude,
I'm like,
you know
what
that
are you
he's-
saying?
You know he's gonna sound different ever since he got the stoma. Can you stop being such a
I don't know
fucking
what
asshole
stoma
about it?
is.
No one.
It's
I-
that shit that they put like the.
Can you stow my nuts in your mouth?
Smoking for 90 years.
Okay, I like how the conversation went from not World War
World
II,
War.
from 9/11, Amelia Earhart to fucking coconut crabs fighting. Are you fighting a rat?
I would probably.
It's just the thought process that amazes me.
I think I'd rather a big ass rat than getting swarmed by coconut crabs that I could not flee from.
What would you do barehanded against the coconut or against the giant fucking rat?
Well, think about it. A rat's claws are still like. A rat's claws are like this. They have very
The
tiny
giant
legs
rat's
still.
like,
They have like very tiny hands. So theoretically, the only thing you really have to avoid is the mouth.
Yep.
True, very true.
Depending
Very
on the
true.
strength of the trap, you might have to avoid the tail, but that's, I don't think the rat's going to
Fuck,
use that
He's
as a
big
weapon.
rat.
he's the
He's a
size
big
of a
rat.
human. His small hands are this fucking big.
Yeah,
So
but it's not about the size of his hands, it's about the size of his arms. And rat's arms in comparison to their bodies are like, yeah, really.
When was the last time you looked at a rat?
This morning when KC pulled his rat out.
Proportionally sized arms.
No, they don't.
I
What?
can go grab one of my sister's pet rats. Give me 5 minutes, and you will see what a
5
rat
minutes?
looks like.
No. Podcast is already over time.
So, I calculated the size of the teeth because the average rat has 4 millimeters of teeth size. If we are assuming this rat is 2
Are we
meters
talking
tall,
average human height?
huh?
What the fuck is what is 2
5'9".
meters tall?
6 feet.
6 feet.
Okay, so
yes.
I'm bigger than this rat already. So there you go.
Okay, which means that the teeth could probably pierce skin, but it would get stuck on muscle. So you would have a slightly better chance in a one-on-one fight with the rat, simply because the teeth can only pierce your skin, but it couldn't go any further.
But what about jaw strength?
Yeah, but that,
I mean,
isn't
they
that
can
the
rip
normal
and shred.
size? Isn't that the normal size rat's like jaw strength to skin? Because I've been bitten by a rat, and I can tell you for sure that shit goes to the bone if they want it to.
Okay.
Like I
Yeah,
used to have these two
jaw
rats. I
strength
used to
is
have two pet
something
rats
to
named
think of.
Cheech and Chong, and they were really nice. But one of them got brain cancer and he died.
And also at the same
and
time,
then Chong, who was the one who survived, got really ornery. And I went to pick him up one day, and he bit me so hard I had to go to the hospital because he almost separated the tendon in my finger.
you guys are taking very seriously like this rat because it's human size. It's a professional fighter. Like in all reality, rats, the only weapon they have is their mouth. So it's not
fair
going to know
point.
to use its legs to punch you or use its tail to whip you. It's going to try to bite you. So if you, yet again, if you can just avoid the mouth, which rats
It's
are
a
not
Dark
known
Souls
for their
boss.
lightning speed.
It's a Dark Souls boss. Just get behind it.
Well, in all terms of actuality, like A rat's not gonna death roll on you. It's not gonna, do
no,
anything
in
crazy like that. So if you could
reality,
get
what he's
on
gonna
its
do-
back, yeah, you could systematically choke it to where it
Well,
passes out.
No, in all reality, what the actual rat is going to do is he's going to try to smother you and gnaw you to death. So it'd be a wrestling match, if anything, because he's going to run, he's going to grab
Yeah,
it.
again, another point for Vari. So, also,
Yeah, but
could
he's
you-
also
could
wrestling
you
a
imagine
giant
wrestling
rat.
a rat that's like
That's
as big
what I
as your
mean, like
fucking wingspan.
What?
Oh, he's got
How
him in
much
the
are we saying?
chokehold,
How
holy
much are we gonna
shit!
say this rat weighs? How much realistically would this rat weigh?
All right, let's put it like this.
Kaiju.
How much
The
is a
average-
normal?
What does the average rat weigh?
Mhm.
This is great podcast, by the way. I just want to
I'm
say
allowing
that.
this to go over time just for this conversation.
So the Polynesian rat is about 1.4 ounces. So
Okay.
we increase
It's 1.4 pounds.
pounds. Okay, that's right. So if we make it human
1.4
size,
ounces is like
that's
a cup
over
of rice.
250%. So what's 250 times 1.4?
250 pounds.
250 times 1.4, 350 pounds. So it's a
So,
fat
yeah,
ass.
you're fighting a
Okay, you're telling me
350
this
pound
fucking
rat.
rat is 300 pounds?
Their body, like their size to fat ratio is very, very. They're mostly fat.
I don't want to
That's-
fight a 300-pound rat.
But
That
here's
would
the
be
Fighting
thing.
a 300-pound rat. It's
But
about
here's the
so,
thing.
So you're fighting a brown bear, pretty much.
Here's the thing. I can outlift that. I've outlifted that before.
Yeah, but it's a rat.
It's not a fucking
never
rat.
fucking evenly weighted. Like he's
But if
on
it goes to
he's
smother
laying
me,
on your dick,
if it
and
goes to
he's
smother
ripping
me,
you apart.
I've lifted almost 100 pounds more than that rat. So if it goes to smother me, my legs can actually handle that weight.
And also, not to mention, rats, their claws, for the size that they are extremely sharp, and they use them to dig burrows,
But
which
their
means
arms
they're
are
used to this
tiny.
motion. So a human-sized rat would
But it's
probably
not
rip
going to
you the
use it
fuck
as a
up.
weapon.
They do.
I think it would. I
You
think
really
it would
don't
in a
think of
survival
rats
situation.
like you think of the
Now-
one type of rat, which
I
is
think-
a brown rat.
I
There's
think-
so many
Vari-
types
I don't
of
even know what the
rats.
fuck a brown rat
if you
is.
had a knife, 100%, no way you would lose against.
Yeah,
that
there's
giant
no
rat.
way.
I
It
think
would
I
be a
can still win.
struggle. It would be a struggle, but I am 100% sure you would win that fight.
With the knife, it wouldn't even be a struggle.
I think it would still be a struggle.
think
but
so.
I think you would definitely kill it. 100% of the time,
'Cause
you would kill it. It
I
still be a
would
struggle,
I would
though.
still say that I have arm reach on a fucking rat that big too.
Okay. We might need Casey Nasty to do tiebreaker.
I think with a weapon, I could win that fight every day. I think without a weapon, I
Every day.
still win, but then it's a struggle.
I see.
I think it's a struggle either way. I think it's a much harder struggle without a weapon. I think you could win definitely because of the size and maybe the slowness of the rat. If it's that big. I
Also,
don't
I'm
think it's
probably
gonna be that
240
fast.
pounds, so this rat's only got 100 pounds on me.
I definitely couldn't beat that fucking
No,
rat.
yeah.
Because it weighs double my weight.
It's a kangaroo that can't
I've-
hop. is what
I've
we're-
almost been able to. I've been able to almost do 100 pounds more than it in squat and deadlift. So my leg muscles can withstand it trying to smother me.
Right. And especially
So all I have to
in
do is
times
yet again
of
just slightly dodge
adrenaline.
it, because a rat is not known for its lightning fast reflexes. It's not a snake.
Right. And adrenaline also helps with that as well. So this rat it's one a tough thing because it's gonna be very hard to kill. If you really think about it with bare hands, it's gonna be very hard to kill a fucking rat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm just gonna be going. I'm just
100%
gonna keep targeting the throat the whole time. So
I know, but 100% of the time you have a knife, you're gonna kill
I
this
really
rat.
just want to see Vari like choke out a 300-pound rat now.
I would love to see that. As well. Can we?
I
set
think
this
I
up,
could do
Joe
it.
Rogan. Joe Rogan, can you?
I
set
think I
this
could
up?
do it.
Jamie, write that down.
Jamie. Hey, Jamie. Hey, can you write that down?
I think I could do it.
I
Zach thinks I could do it too.
I know a guy.
With a weapon, 100% of the time, I think he could.
I still
Vari, I
think
know
with
a
my
guy
bare
who has a
hands I
very
could still pull
small
it off.
brown bear.
I agree.
It's about the size of a human-sized rat. I'll let you fight it.
How old is it? Because I've had this discussion before. Is it a teenage bear?
Oh no,
I
no,
have to
no.
piss. You guys are
He's
welcome to
sexually
continue.
mature, and he hasn't seen a woman.
I don't
since
think
he
I
was
could.
born,
I don't think
so
I could beat a fully grown bear, but I think I could handle a teenage bear.
Okay. You know what?
You're vastly underestimating the power of
I
a
think
very
I
small
can.
bear.
I think I can handle a teenage bear. As long as Mama doesn't show up, I think me and a
I
bear
don't know,
could
man.
go
Okay,
toe to
so
toe.
legitimately, when I was in Tennessee, I saw there was a bear outside of our cabin, and like it was small, but those things like they're fucking intimidating as shit.
I can imagine.
Yeah, but if you
Like-
don't have to worry about the intimidation factor. Boom. You're scared. You're tiny. I'm not scared. I'm big.
I really just want to see you get pieced up.
Bro, these
So-
muscles are reinforced, baby.
So what I'll do is I'll spend 2 weeks making the rat,
Tried and true.
I'll also make Vari, and then we'll make them both playable characters, and then we'll force all the subs on Twitch to play it. How about that? That'll be a good tiebreaker.
Dude, who's
Why do I
playing
hear a
Minecraft?
chest opening and closing?
All right, we're done. The podcast is over. We're 10 minutes
Let's go
over
play
already.
Minecraft.
We're done. Thank you guys so much for watching. Zach's already gone. I'm leaving now. Dice is up there. Kaiju's over there. Links will be in the description. We love you guys. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. Comment down below if you think I could handle a rat and or bear. And as always, make sure you hit that bell to get
Yes,
notified
no.
when I upload. And have a great one. Bye, everybody!